Hey, Rick Rodriguez here, coming to you with the Opportunity Launch training. Opportunity Launch is where you can get free capture pages for almost any company. Today, we're going to talk about how to buy a domain name. If you hear the birdies in the background, I'm sitting on my porch, and if you hear a dog snoring, that's my dog. He's snoring underneath my feet here. We're going to talk about how to buy a domain name. Now, I've been buying domain names since you could buy a domain name on the internet. So, buying a domain name is pretty easy. I'm going to break it down for you in this easy guide. Now, remember, buying a domain is the first step in owning a website. First, you buy a domain, then your domain has to live somewhere. That's right. You'll probably need a web host. No, not with Opportunity Launch, you won't, but in general, I will create another web presentation about web hosting, okay? But for now, let's learn about how you can get your own domain, okay? So choosing a domain registrar. Now, a domain registrar is a service that allows you to officially register your desired website domain name so that it is unique to you and no one else can own it. And in the beginning, they had one company, and now there's hundreds of these places where you can register your domain. Some of them are better than others. I have my own personal preference because I've registered hundreds of domains. Many other people, they shop for the registrar. You could get sometimes more inexpensive deals, and I myself I use GoDaddy because every time I call them up, they have great customer service, and every time they solve my issue. So it's really important to me when I buy a domain that I get good service. Some people, they don't work with their domains that much, so it won't be that important to you. But if you have 50 domains like I do, it's really important. You know, if something goes wrong with your domain or you can't figure out something, that you can call someone and they can fix it. Okay, so that's why I use GoDaddy. So finding your domain, you know, first, like, you need to decide on a registrar, however you say that word. Next, I'm going to teach you how to find your own domain. It's really easy. Okay, so you can just relax, and there's really nothing to it. So, and like, excuse me, choosing a domain, I purchased my birth name for my business profile, and if you're promoting, like, let's say a health company, you may want a domain name that is more geared toward the health niche. If you're wanting a domain that brands you, you can purchase a domain that says something like work with Dave, work with Joe, work with rickrodriguez.com. And I personally like to keep my domains under 16 characters. You can put dashes in your domains. They allow certain characters, like you could put workwith-rick.com and sometimes get a domain like that. If you're selling a product or service, you may want to include the type of product or service in your domain name. Like if you're selling capture pages, let's say, you might want to have a domain name that says bestcapturepagesystem.com, best capture page service, something like that. Sort of when I'm trying to think of a domain, a lot of times I'll write down a bunch of different names, and then what I do is I go and I search for the new domain. Now, how to find the domain you want and make sure it's available. So all the domain registrars have a search function, usually on the front page, and you don't really even have to sign up to search for a domain. Okay, you could just go to these places and type in the domain you want. I put Aunt Marcia's house in the search function, and it's going to tell you if the domain is available and what extension. like .com, .net it's supposed to say. There's a mistake there. And .org. I like .coms. I generally buy those, and I also like .nets, but and I have some .orgs, but I sort of like to stick to .coms. I mean, people know that if it's something .com, that it's on the internet. A lot of people aren't familiar with many of the other extensions, but sometimes you can get cheaper domains if you use .us, and there's just a gazillion extensions available for you. But .com, .net, and .org are the most common ones that most people use. So if you go there and you search in there, and it'll come up and tell you if the domain is available. Okay, and then right there you can just press on purchase this domain, and you can buy the domain from whatever registrar that you picked. Okay, it's that easy. You fill out the form. There's a little form you fill out, but now you now you own a domain. If you went there and you search for it and you click on the buy button, now you own a domain. And all the domain registrars, they charge you by the year to own that domain, and they're all different, and the charges are always going up. Okay, so if you found a registrar and you got a coupon or something like that, and you got your first domain for $10, by the time you re-up it in a year, it'll probably be like $12 or something like that. So I want you to hold on to your domain, because these domains are valuable. Okay. Now, for you advanced guys, now that was just a little tutorial about how to get your first domain or how to buy a domain. Now, for advanced people that want to buy expired domains, this is just a little tip for you. I know that on Opportunity Launch they're always giving some really cool tips, and I'd like to give you a little tip here, because I learned over the past 20 years that if you want to get a really good domain, what you do is you go to Fiverr and you hire someone to search for an expired domain in your niche. Okay. Now, what does that do for you? Well, somebody's bought that a couple of years ago and used it for a while and just quit their business or whatever. Probably has backlinks and all authority. I know you might not know what that means, but what that means is that when you buy a domain that somebody else used and it has a similar characteristics that would work for your business, you're way ahead. So I'm just going to leave you with that, and I'm going to end this presentation here. I wanted to keep it short, and I'm just going to exit this little file here and go back to my presentation, and I'm going to stop this broadcast. I appreciate everyone that took a look at my little presentation today for Opportunity Launch, and I'm going to make another one, a few more, a series of them, and the next one I believe is going to be on subdomains, how to make a subdomain. Now that you bought your domain, now I'm going to teach you how to make a subdomain. It's easy. All right, thank you.